I'm sharing some practices for keeping the skin healthy. In this video, we're going to cover a few of my personal favorite ways to keep healthy skin, making some homemade beauty products, and discussing foods that support vital and glowing skin. So let's go ahead and get started first with my favorite beauty tools for skincare. So it should come as no surprise if you watch my channel that dry brushing is one of my favorites for skincare. Now, if you have sensitive skin, be sure to check with your dermatologist before starting any skincare routine, tools, or products, as dry brushing can irritate some skin types. I have a few different dry brushes. I have the first one I showed that I've had for years and years. It's my go-to. And then this one that also has little massagers in as well. So it kind of doubles as a dry brush and massaging tool. In general, dry brushing is a fantastic way to not only exfoliate the skin, but bring blood flow to the skin surface. So if you don't have or don't use a dry brush consistently, consider adding it to your routine and see if your skin improves and glows over time. At first, it's going to feel a little odd, but you get used to it and it feels kind of nice, especially if you do it right before a shower. I like to do it usually every other week, but you can ramp it up a little bit more in the spring and the summer months. Skin brushing is fantastic for the skin, but also massaging the skin as well. You can find different massaging tools like this one that I've had for years. I used it a ton when I was pregnant. This is a more recent purchase that I discussed in my last skincare video, and this is a lymphatic drainage tool. So I'm going to show you how I use both. I don't use them both at the same time, but depending on the day, I'll choose one or the other. Before performing a skincare massage, you want to pick out an oil that works for using with your tools. Now, I especially like to make homemade oils, although I do like store-bought options as well. This is really easy, and it's a great way to use what I have dried from my herb garden. Last year, I had a lot of calendula growing in the garden, and it hasn't come up yet for this year, but calendula is incredibly healing to the skin. In a mason jar filled with some dried herbs, I'm going to go ahead and pour some olive oil, coconut oil, even almond oil. There's several different oils you can use that are great for the skin. I'll put a few options in the description, but I'm going to pour that over the herbs and just let that infuse for several hours, if not overnight. You can go ahead and strain and use that with your massage tools, but you can also use it to make homemade skincare, which we're going to do a little later in this video. I use this massage tool the most, like I mentioned, when I was pregnant, just to sort of keep the blood flowing in my legs and help with cellulite and stretch marks and all of that. So I had my routine that I did very, very consistently. And then I just started using this lymphatic drainage tool. Again, you go up towards the heart, especially when it comes to the legs and the arms. And then I showed a little bit of how to use this in my previous skincare video on the neck and shoulders as well. So you can check that video out to see that, and I'll discuss this tool a little bit more in the future as I get more familiar with using it. Another tip that I have discussed in previous videos is hydrotherapy, which is alternating hot and cold water in the shower. So 3 minutes of hot water, 30 seconds of cold water, and repeat at least 3 times. So this is something that sort of wakes up the skin, again, gets your blood flowing, and overall it's something I prefer to do in the spring and the summer months more than the winter months. So a tip that I wanted to include in this video as we are moving into the spring and summer months here in the next few months. We know that excessive sun exposure can harm collagen fibers and lead to DNA damage. Healthy sun exposure is still really important to overall wellness, and it's important to find a balance so that you receive enough sunlight to enable your body to synthesize vitamin D without creating free radicals and cellular damage. So if you're in doubt, you can talk to your dermatologist once again for a recommended exposure in your area, in your region, but I like to spend a little bit of time in the sun every single day. I know that it makes me feel better. I do love the sun. I sure do love a sunny day, and if it's nice and warm, I'll put on some shorts and make sure my whole body is exposed to the sun for 15 to 20 minutes. Making homemade skincare is a great way to know what is in what you're using. A lot of homemade skincare is just a few simple ingredients. So as we saw earlier, I made infused oils, and then I'm taking some beeswax, some shea butter, some mango butter. These butters are getting ready to expire here in the next few months, so I'm going to try to use them all by making bulk skincare. I'm going to keep some for myself and give a few away as gifts, but it's really easy. I make a makeshift double boiler to just basically melt the beeswax and the butters, and then I'm going to add some of the infused oils. I eyeball it at this point because I've made so many homemade skincare products over the years that I sort of know how to eyeball it, but I'll share the exact measurements in the description. Once it melts, I'm going to pull it off and just let it cool down a little bit so I don't shock the jars. You can find these jars on Amazon, and I like to buy them in a big box so that I can make several at one time. So I'm going to make a few that are infused with the calendula oil and a few that are infused with the lavender oil, and I'm going to give away a few of them as gifts and then also keep some for myself. So this is a great all-purpose body butter. You can use it as body oil. It kind of, as you warm it in your hands, it'll turn into an oil. You can use it as a cuticle oil, all over your body pretty much. You can use it as a hand cream. So there's a lot of different ways to use it, but it's pretty much an all-purpose body butter. The health of our skin is often a reflection of our inner health and what we're putting inside of our bodies. So there are some foods that support vital and glowing skin, and I'm going to share a few of my favorites with you, including the first one, which is green tea, the second one, which is cantaloupe. If you start eating cantaloupe consistently, you'll notice that your skin starts to glow. It is something that I did before my wedding. I researched all the foods that supported vital and glowing skin so that my skin was glowy on my wedding day, and I ate a lot of cantaloupe and berries, leafy greens. Also, walnuts are another great one because of the oils inside of the walnuts. Sunflower seeds are another great snack. I also love avocados with everything but bagel sesame seasoning, so I'll either eat a whole avocado or a half an avocado. So these are just a few snack ideas, but sweet potatoes are great for the skin. Broccoli and tomatoes as well. So there are lots of things that we can incorporate in our diet for healthier skincare. And yeah, those are a few of my favorite tools, some homemade body care that I love, and some of my favorite snacks for overall healthy skin. So I hope you enjoyed what you saw in this video. If you like my channel, be sure to subscribe and also leave a comment below letting me know your name and where you're from so that we can connect. And yeah, I'll see you very soon in the next video.